Oh. So yeah, low tier arty. Mentioned one of the biggest problems with low tier arty is signal range. And, one tank left on the enemy team. He's an M7 priest. He's on like 2 health. And he's hiding up here in the corner somewhere. And as you can see from the minimap, I have lost contact with the Martyr 38T because of signal range. Either his crew aren't good enough or my radio isn't good enough. But I'm here in the Wespe. And I'm just aiming, looking for this arty. He's on 2 health. He was last spotted behind this rock. So, waiting for tanks to move in. And, oh, tree falling. He's around here. He's in this corner. Tree falling. Tree falling. Okay, no sign. Oh, another tree falling. So, he's probably about there. And I've just killed our Martyr 38T while the M7 Priest is still alive. Oh, as you can say, I'm saying sorry in chat. It was a damn fine shot. It was well predicted with trees falling, but direct hit killed our Martyr 38T. I'm so sorry, dude. So sorry. But yeah, signal range. So important in low tier games to have a good crew and as much signal range as you can get. Hi folks, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the Wespe, a tier 3 German artillery. Yes, it's another low tier artillery, and got a couple of confessions to make. First confession is, this is the second time I'm recording this flaming thing, because I recorded the entire video and then realized that I hadn't pressed the record button, so I'm doing this a second time. The other confession I have to make is that this is a tank I played on day 1 of playing World of Tanks. The day I installed the game, the day I first started playing the game. I got up to roughly about tier 4 on all the German lines, including artillery, and this was the original tier 3 arty. It still is the tier 3 arty. It's one of the few low tier German arties that didn't get its tier changed, and there were no major, well, it was nerfed along with all the other arties, but around 8.6 German low tier arties were moved around, new arty were introduced, but the Wespe was a tier 3 and it still is a tier 3, so I played this as a tier 3 first time round, and I got to tier 4 on roughly day 1, possibly day 2 of playing World of Tanks, and I got a second class badge on this the first time I was playing it, so I rebought it to get the ace. And as I say, I've got a confession in that I got a second class badge on this tank first time round. I ground through the entire tank to tier 4 without realizing there was an artillery mode. So yeah, first time playing around this tank, and I ground through this tank. I played it as a tank destroyer, and I don't think I was very impressed with it because I didn't realize it was artillery. But yeah, confessions. That's off my chest now. So yeah, the Wespe, extremely successful SPG for the Germans. It was built by Alket, who were also involved in building the Panzer III, but Alket were also involved in converting a lot of captured tanks into SPGs. So we talked about the Mark 6, the Vickers Mark 6 earlier, that was converted. Yep, Alket were involved with that. We talked about the LEFH-18B2, captured French tanks converted into, or captured B2s converted into artillery. Yes, Alket were involved in that as well. So when the Panzer II was, wasn't discovered, but when it became obsolete, when it was under-armored and underpowered, basically Alket were approached and were asked to basically try and convert the Panzer II chassis into something more competitive, and they turned it into an SPG, and just like they did with their captured tanks, they used captured French guns. So this is an LEFH-18 gun, so it's the same gun that comes on the LEFH-18B2, but this is 2 tiers lower. This is a tier 3, so it comes with a tier 5 gun on a tier 3, so it's a pretty good gun on a Panzer II. This tank was called the Wespe, as I say, which is German for wasp, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce the real name of this tank because it's such a mouthful. So I'm just going to put it up on screen. You know, you guys, if you want to have a chance at, trying to pronounce the real name of this tank, go ahead. It's on screen right now, but I'm just going to be calling this tank the Wespe because that's a heck of a lot easier. But anyway, Alket took the Panzer II, they put the French French gun on it. They turned it into the Wespe. They built them in Poland, so I suppose technically this is a Polish tank, and it went into production in February 1943. It remained in production up till June 1944. In fact, it remained in production right up till the moment that Russian troops overran the production facilities. So, but it was highly, highly successful. The troops that drove this absolutely loved it because it first saw combat in 1943 in Russia, and even during the Russian winter, this was an incredibly reliable vehicle. It didn't break down very much, and it was quite maneuverable, although that's not reflected in game. But the troops loved it, and it was very, very successful. In fact, it was so successful that in 1943, Hitler ordered all other projects based on the Panzer II to be cancelled. He ordered all remaining Panzer II chassis to be converted into Vespas because the Wespe was so successful. So this basically led to the death of projects like the Marder II. The Marder II was based on the Panzer II, but the Marder II was cancelled in favour of the Wespe because it was just such a reliable and successful SPG. So anyway, as I say, it was loved by the troops. It remained in production up till 1944. There were about 700 of them built in total. So yeah, quite a successful little tank. But anyway, let's get on with this game because this is Redshire. I'm a tier 3 and a tier 5 game, and I guess one of the things that really, really surprises me, well, not surprises me, but one of the things that really talks about how balanced arty is the fact that I'm a tier 3 and a tier 5 game, and it doesn't matter. You know, that's just how arty is balanced. You know, it doesn't matter that I'm a tier 3 arty in a tier 5 game. This is an LE-FH-18B2 gun, so it means I've got 410 alpha damage, it means I've got 53mm of penetration, and it means that I can hit and damage tier 5 tanks with absolutely no problems. That's one of the ways arty is balanced. It doesn't matter that I'm a tier 3 in a tier 5 game because I can hurt tier 5s. You know, you can be a tier 8 arty in a tier 8 game, and you can hurt our tier 10 game, and you can hurt tier 10s in your tier 8 arty. Yeah, so don't get a shot on the T28 going for the M3 light. Fire and hit the rocks, because once again, the gun is not great. While the penetration and the alpha damage are good, in fact they're just slightly better than the tier 2. It's pretty much a later version of the same gun. You can see that the aim time is not good. You can see that the accuracy, well, you can't see the accuracy quite yet, but the accuracy is not great on the tank either. The shell arc is very, very narrow, but ooh, first victim is the Marder II, which is ironic because, as I say, the Marder II was discontinued in favor of the Wespe, both built on the Panzer II chassis. So the tank does have problems. I mean, it's got a nice rate of fire, or it has a terrible rate of fire. What am I talking about? It's got a nice alpha damage, it's got nice penetration, it can damage tier 5s even as a tier 3, as you're about to see on this KB1, but it has some problems. The rate of fire is, you only get about 1 round every 20 seconds, so, you know, about 3 rounds a minute. A nicely predicted shot into the KV-1, and that's 161 damage on a heavily armoured tier 5 tank by a tier 3 arty, because that's balance. So yeah, the range of fire, like the tier 2, because it's pretty much the same gun, is very, very good as well. As you can see, I've got pretty much full coverage across the entire map. I thought the KV-1 was going to repair and drive forward into that shot, so didn't happen. We missed that one, did no splash damage. So gotta wait for 20 seconds between rounds and then try and do more damage. So this is a very, very average game, and I'm kind of surprised it was an ace, but we're just going to continue here, and there you can see the accuracy, missing that KV-1 by an absolute mile. So we're able to sit back in A3 because the range of fire in our gun is so good we can cover the whole map, and you know, that's just the benefit of the Wespe. But it's not particularly fast, it's not mobile, and as I say, the aim time is not good, the accuracy isn't good, and the rate of fire is absolutely awful. But we're able to take out the Cruiser 2, switch over, have to wait for maybe... You can see me constantly adjusting the hull here because the gun arc is okay, the gun arc is okay, but I don't know, just something about the traverse speed, not great, but go for a shot in the Hetzer. And that looked like a direct hit, but we only did 119 damage to the Hetzer. So, yeah, failed to pen. But now, yeah, the game is looking 50-50. We're winning slightly. just have to go through this long reload, and the Hetzer gets into cover, and now I've got a choice. I can either switch targets and go through that aim time again, or we can sit here and hope that the Hetzer comes out of cover. So, yeah, the trials and tribulations of playing arty, but decide to switch, cruiser 4, and he's dead. So we've got tanks moving in on the K line, so that's where some enemy tanks are bound to be spotted. There's 2 arty on the enemy team, a couple of TDs. We know where the Hetzer is, so it just means that there is an SU and a couple of arty left, and I'm at the very, very edge of my aim circle. But nope, we switch back to the Hetzer because our team are taking their time moving in on the K line, and the Hetzer's not coming out. So riveting gameplay here. But yeah, as I say, I'm happy to have rebought this tank simply to get an ace. It didn't take very many games, and I was quite pleased with myself. So I figured we were getting through the low-tier arty quite quickly, which means I don't have to spend much time in the tanks, unlike other tanks that take forever to ace. But yeah, low-tier arty, not too bad, and failed to pen the SU-85, but we do track damage, and that's some nice assistance damage there. Lots of assistance damage, I'm not complaining, so just 1 tank left on the enemy team, and we've only done 800 damage. I mean, this is a game where we only did 800 damage, we're on 2 kills, and we're aiming for the Hetzer, aiming. Aim time is not great on this arty, and we fire, and we miss by a country mile. So yeah, accuracy, same problem as the tier 2. Not very accurate, but when it hits, it hits. So it was an ace, no other medals, and I'm not complaining because it means I don't have to play this arty again. But as you can see in the replay description, really? Really? This was the ace? This was the ace in a Vespa. Oh, wow. You know, what a difference artillery mode makes compared to playing this thing as a TD, I guess. Incredibly easy ace tanker. Didn't take very many games at all. We came 3rd, didn't even have to come 1st. 607 XP was enough to ace the Vespa. Another low-tier tank that you guys should have no problems acing if that's what you're interested in. 800 damage, 2 kills, and a terrible game. And apparently it was an ace. But we fired 10, we only managed to hit 5 and pen 5, so there we go. 50% accuracy on that particular game. We damaged 5, destroyed 2, only did 229 assistance damage, and finished up with 17,000 credits, and it wasn't my first game of the day. I rebought this tank in order to get the ace, and I'm amazed it came so early, and I'm amazed it was such a simple game, not a very good game at all, but you know, it sold. I sold the tank straight after this game, and moved on to another low-tier arty that I missed first time around. But yeah, Vespa, it's done, it's dusted, but happy to get it up on the channel because, you know, it's an interesting tank. It's, you know, along with the Hummel, I think the Vespa is one of the more iconic German SPGs during World War II. So yeah, it finally got its 15 minutes of fame on the channel. But anyhow, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.